Bismillah, Bismillah, au nom d'Allah. Bismillah.
Okay, boys and girls, once again, let me welcome you to this our lesson. I hope everything is well. Though we are not meeting, learning doesn't stop. We are going to proceed, and just as I said earlier, our syllabus coverage is on, and nothing will stop us. So today's lesson, we are going to learn about relative clauses. We are going to look at some relative clauses, and the relative clauses we are going to look at are those ones with words like whose, whom, when, and where. Once again, whose, whom, when, and where. These are words which are normally used to connect sentences, and that's why we normally refer to them as relative clauses: whose, whom, when, and where. So I want to see how all these words are normally used and in which form. And the first one we are going to look at is whom. The word is whom. Now before we look at whom, I want us to look at this one here, who. Because these ones are words that are normally really confused by most learners. So who, I want us to look at these two sentences. The boy was unwell. The boy was taken for medication. The boy was taken for medication. So in this sentence, we are referring to the boy. In this case, the boy here is the subject of the sentence. This is the subject, is the doer of the action. The boy was unwell. The boy was taken for medication. This sentence can be joined to make one sentence using the relative pronoun who. In this case, we shall say the boy who was unwell was taken for medication. The boy who. Which boy? The one who was unwell. So in this case, when do we use whom and when do we use who? It is very simple. If the relative pronoun comes immediately after the noun or the subject, like in this case, boy, the boy. So in this case, we are not going to use whom, but we are going to use the relative clause who. So we say the boy who was unwell was taken for medication. The boy who and not the boy whom. So that is an example of a case where we use who and not whom. The teacher who came to our classroom carried some books. The teacher who. The pupil who scored high marks was so happy. The pupil who. So in this case, the relative clause comes immediately after the noun. In this case, the boy is the noun or the subject in that case. The boy who, the man who. The man who came into our house last evening looked rather unwell. The man who. So now I want us to look at sentences or cases where we are going to use whom but not who. Remember, this is whom, not who. So whom, one use of whom. This one is a word that is used instead of who as the object of a verb or a preposition. So remember, in this case, I'm not talking about subject, but we have introduced the word object. The object as the object, used instead of who as the object of a verb or a preposition. Look at these two sentences. I gave the boy I gave a ball. The boy I gave a ball. Then he looked very excited. Now look at these two sentences. The boy I gave a ball. Then he looked very excited. These are two sentences, and I want to see how we can join them using whom. So in this case, we'll say the boy whom I gave a ball. The boy whom I gave a ball looked very excited. And I want to take you back to my explanation here. Used instead of who as the object of the verb or preposition. In this case, the boy whom, the act of giving a ball was done by I. So I here is the subject. So I is the subject in the sentence, meaning the doer of the action. The giving of the ball was done by I. So in that case, I is the what? I is the subject. And then the ball was being given to who? To the boy. So in this case, boy is the object. The boy is the object. And in this case, therefore, we are not going to use who, but the correct relative clause is going to be whom. So we say, the boy whom I gave a ball looked very excited. I want us to look at some more examples on ways or different areas where we are supposed to use whom and instead of who. Look at our examples. We begin with example 1. Dash did they invite? Now the act of inviting was done by them. Dash did they invite? So this person here or this noun here is actually acting as the object. The inviting was done to them. So we say whom did they invite, but not who did they invite, because the person inviting or the subject in this case is they. So this whom is supposed to be there as a pronoun which is representing the object in this case. So whom did they invite? Sentence 2. To dash should I write? To dash should I write? So I is the subject, then because I'm the one writing, to dash. So the person you are writing to in this case is the object. So we say to whom should I write, and not to who should I write. To whom should I write? Number 3. The boys dash you talked to were truthful. You are the one talking. So you in this case is the what? This is the subject. The boys becomes the object. So the boys whom you talked to were truthful. So those ones are some examples, and remember, just before I proceed, remember we've said we are using whom instead of who as an object of a verb or a preposition. Let's go to example 4. The fourth example, look at this. The woman dash my uncle married is very kind. The woman dash my uncle married. So in this case, my uncle is the subject. So woman in this case is the object. So we're going to say the woman whom and not the woman who. The woman whom my uncle married is very kind. On our application, we are going to look at an exercise in your textbook. And just as I've said, we are on with the exercises in our book, and all of them should be done. So after this, I want everybody, after taking the notes on the use of whom, then we go together, you check through and make sure even the sentences that I've written on the blackboard are captured in your books. So on page 166, we are discussing the exercise in exercise 3. They are number 1 up number 7. The instruction is join. You are asked to join the sentences into one using whom. Join the sentences into one using the word whom. And then number 1 reads, join the sentences into one using whom. Look at number 1. The man was away on holiday. The man was away on holiday. I wanted to see him. The man was away on holiday. I wanted to see him. So, as one sentence, using whom, what are you going to say? The man whom I wanted to see is away on holiday. Remember, the man. Man in this case is acting as the object and not the subject. The subject of the sentence is I. I'm the one who wanted to see the man. So man in this case is the object. I becomes the subject. So we say the man whom I wanted to see is away on holiday. The girl whom you saw was lost. The girl whom you saw was lost, and not the girl who you saw. Lastly, the man was innocent. The man was innocent. You accused him. The man was innocent. You accused him. So in this case, once again, you accused him. You are the doer of the action. You are the subject. The man was accused. So man here is our object. The act of accusing was done to the man. You are the one who accused. So you is our subject and the man becomes the object. So in this kind of sentence, don't use who, but use whom. The man whom you accused was innocent. The man whom you accused, and not the man who you accused. So just as we wind up, remember I have said these two relative clauses, whom and who are used in different ways. We've said whom and who are used in different ways. You can't use them in the same way. Like I have concluded, the boy who I saw. This case, the boy who I saw, right? The man with whom we went to the cinemas, paid for us the entrance fee. So in this case, the man with whom and not the man with who. The man with whom we went to the cinemas paid for us the entrance fee. So get the clear difference between when to use who and when to use whom. The exercises in your book, I expect you to attempt and find out that you have all followed the instructions on how to use who and how to use when. In our next lesson, we are going to look at how to use when, and then we follow it with how to use where. I hope everything is okay and you have followed everything that I have taught, and that brings us to the end of the lesson until we meet in our next one. Thank you very much.
Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah.